Hello, I'm EnderPigman9, the crazy kid with a camera. So this is my top 10 favorite Transformer figures that I own. There's a Studio Series figure backdrop behind the camera. So I'm just going to put them on there and then film them and then give my opinion. My original idea was to hold them, but then ultimately that would be a bit, I just found it a bit better if I just put them on my desk and just record it from there. So, swipe right. Alright, so at number 10 is Combiner Wars Devastator. Now, Devastator being as big as he is, I couldn't fit them all in frame, so I just decided to put my favorite 2 of the 6 Constructicons in place of him. Devastator himself is really cool. He's the biggest one I've got because I don't have Times Returns, Fortress Maximus, or Generations Metroplex. And yeah, Devastator is, well, for his size, I actually really enjoy Devastator. Too bad I couldn't show the entire thing, because then I had to go handheld and it would be a bit shaky. Anyway, the individual figures themselves, Hawk and Mixmaster's elbows look weird, and Bone Crusher has that whole hip problem, like, hold on, let me get him. Like, that is, yeah, have you seen anyone's review of this set? That has come up pretty frequently, at least in the 2 that I've watched. And Longhole's his proportions are just off. They're just off. As for Scavenger and Scrapper, I love them. Scrapper, yeah, he doesn't really have any elbows, which is unfortunate. But other than that, I really like these 2, as well as Devastator himself. I really enjoy the set. Minus a few proportion issues with Hook and Mixmaster with their elbows looking all weird. Bone Crusher's problematic transformation, and Longhole's just completely out of whack proportions. But I love Devastator, and I love these 2, and that makes up for it. Number 9, we have Times Return Legends Cosmos. I know it's a repaint of the Generations 1, but I was not a fan when the Generations 1 came out. So I'm glad I have him. I like his alt mode being transformed into an UFO. I like the coloration on Cosmos. I think the idea of him being a spacecraft in a mostly army of cars, planes, and all that really makes him stand out. I just really like his coloration. I think I've said that before. Anyway, but yeah, I really like this this Cosmos toy. It's enjoyable. And at number 8, I have Times Return Megatron. I know this is meant to be Blitzwing. I know, but I personally prefer it as Megatron. I just prefer the colors. For some reason, I had more fun transforming Megatron than I did Blitzwing, because for some reason Blitzwing's joints were a bit stiffer than they should have been. His joints were fine though. To be fair, sorry for the random jump cut. The camera fell down, but as I was saying, I like how this fusion cannon looks. Not the perfect fusion cannon by any means, but I still like it nonetheless. Yeah, overall, I just prefer this mold as Megatron over Blitzwing. I know it's meant to be Blitzwing, but for me personally, I prefer it as Megatron. I just realized I forgot to mention why they're in the position that they are. The Constructicons / Devastator are in 10th because of Bone Crusher and Longhole's issues. Cosmos is in number 9th just because I prefer the other 8 more. And Megatron's in 8th because, again, it's meant for Blitzwing, not Megatron. And also that fusion cannon. As much as I like the fusion cannon, I don't have a problem with that fusion cannon. I know I could add the extra weapon on to that, but the contrast is just, I just don't like that contrast. But yeah, that's why Megatron's in 8th. I will mention why they're in the position that they are from now on, but I just realized this mistake while I was recording, so yeah, I just thought I should mention that. So back to number 7. And in that 7th place, we have Titan's Return Deluxe Hot Rod. Now, it was close between choosing which one was 7th and 6th, but me personally, 6th is better than him, in my opinion. The reason for that, I like Hot Rod, I like its design, I like this figure's design, but it was hard. It was hard picking between this one and the one in number 6. But personally, I went with number 6 more so than Hot Rod, because mine has a bit of a hip issue. Mine has a bit of a hip issue, meaning that getting into stand is sometimes a bit of a fiddly problem. But other than that, I really can't fault it that much. I like his design. I like a lot about him. Just he has a bit of loose hips that kind of soil the deal a little bit, and that's yeah, that's why he's in 7th, because of those hips. On to number 6. And in number 6, we have Combiner Wars Voyager Optimus Prime. Okay, so I like this toy. I like him. I like him. I have 2 Primes. This one and the Titans Return one. The Titans Return Voyager. Forgot about the Power Master, but that one is not that great. This one is great though. It's enjoyable. But he does have a few issues. I don't mind that his legs are a little bit bigger than they should be. These flaps could have been done a little bit better. His head is a bit too small. But for me personally, I personally prefer this guy over the Titans Return Hot Rod, because I really like Optimus. Anyway, yeah, I really like what they were trying to do with the Combiner Wars Optimus. I know this became Motor Master, but overall I do enjoy it as Prime, and I don't actually have Motor Master, so I really can't make the comparison. Just wish these flaps did something different and his head was a bit bigger. But those 2 issues I don't have as big as a gripe as I do with Hot Rod's hip problem. But other than that, the combined mode, I honestly don't care for his combined mode. I just like his robot and truck mode. Other than that, he's pretty good. He's pretty cool. And halfway through, we have Titans Return Soundwave. I don't like either of his alt modes. I honestly do not like it. I don't like his boombox mode, and his bass mode's okay. Personally, it's a little weird having Soundwave transform into a bass, personally. But his robot mode looks really, 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 really beautiful. Like, I love this design for Soundwave. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure MGO touched on it in his review. I'll link to his channel down below. Unfortunately, Soundwave's chest gold paint has rubbed off completely on mine, so he's got this weird white thing. But when he actually had the gold still on, I loved how he looked. Yeah, I really like this design for Soundwave. And the young little tablet eject gimmick that he has, I really enjoy that. It's Laserbeak's one. But other than that, other than this unfortunate incident, I really can't fault the figure. For me personally, I prefer the 4 that are coming next from him. More than him. But other than that, really enjoyed the Soundwave toy. Although I found him a bit of a difficult thing to transform, I do enjoy him in his robot mode. I really like this guy. Just the next 4 for me personally were just better. And starting off the final 4, we have Siege Leader Shockwave. If you watch Endgame, you'll get the joke. Anyway, yeah, it's a really cool Shockwave. I really like this toy. I like that he still has his gun mode, even though that Hasbro are trying to pass it off as a spaceship. It actually looks like a spaceship when you have all the accessories extended. But yeah, I like that they were able to keep his gun mode in like that. And also one thing that put him above Soundwave is the light piping. I'm not a fan of light piping. I personally don't like it when they use light piping on figures. That's my personal preference. Have your own. But my personal preference is I don't like when the figures are light piped. This guy might just change my mind because this is light piped eye. Let me just get him closer to the camera, because that light piping is just spectacular. This figure, in my opinion, definitely does the light piping a bit better than any other light piped robots that I have, which I think is just 2 besides him. But other than that, really, really good Shockwave. Me personally, I prefer the other again, like Soundwave and Megatron. I prefer, not Megatron, Cosmos. I forget the order of my own list. I prefer the next 3 more so than Shockwave. And taking out the bronze is my first deluxe Transformer that I've got, Triggerhappy. Times Return Triggerhappy. Love him. Love him, love him, love him. I am a bit biased with him because he is my first deluxe, as I've said. But, yeah, love his design. Love his alt mode. Yeah, I really like Triggerhappy. I really like this Triggerhappy. I think it's just because he's the first deluxe I've gotten. The next 2, just for me personally, have a bit more mean a little bit more to me than he does. Not to say that I don't love him, but yeah, he's my first deluxe, first Decepticon. In fact, the other 2 are Autobots. And I just love them. I have about, but anyway, let's go see let's go get to the final coming 2. In second is MP12, I think, Masterpiece Lambo, or Sideswipe as we call him. Yeah, he's a Masterpiece figure. He's my only Masterpiece figure that I have. I love Sideswipe as a character. I wouldn't say he's my personal favorite. My personal favorite, probably if I had to pick one, would be Ironhide, I guess. But yeah, he's a Masterpiece figure. I really love his design. Personal note, I can never get these windows to fold into his back like you're supposed to, so I just leave them out. Yeah, I cannot get those in at the moment, and there's a few paint scruffage. I think that's just wear. Anyway, but yeah, really happy to have a Masterpiece figure. Love that it's one of my favorite characters. Sideswipe will probably come in. He'd be my top 5. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, let's see who won. Let's see who's number 1. Quick note and some honorable mentions. One thing I forgot to mention during Sideswipe is that, yes, one of his tabs has broken off. That was my fault. I was trying to transform him, and the tabs go into his hood. The hood wouldn't come undone. When I tried to get it undone, I accidentally snapped the tab. Oh well, not the end of the world. But as for honorable mentions, let's see. One mention I'll give is to just give me a chance to transform him. Power of the Prime Swoop. I like him. Not as much as I do the other 10 though. He's a good figure, all in all, but not my top 10. Just for housekeeping, here's the Ironhide that I own, just because he's my favorite. If I had to pick one, he'd be my favorite character. I'm just gonna put him here, just for housekeeping, and this actually works pretty well if you know what I'm trying to say, what I'm saying, because one other honorable mention will go to Chromia. I really hope people get this joke. Anyway, the number 1, my personal favorite Transformer figure that I own is, drumroll please, Times Return Bumblebee, the one who basically started it all. Yeah, I liked Transformers when I was a little younger, but I never really got into the toys or the series as much as I am into it now. But then I saw him on a toy shelf, and I thought, yeah, why not? I'll get him. I had a few Transformers before him, but that was often just me, just being a kid, just enjoying a toy. So I thought, yeah, why not? I'll pick up Bumblebee. He looked great. So I picked him up, and I also picked up Rewind to try and give him a buddy to play with, even though I had no idea who Rewind was, but now I do know who he is. So yeah, age. Anyway, Bumblebee was my first. This Bumblebee was my first Transformers toy, so obviously I'm gonna hold him in high regard, regardless on whoever I get, even if their design or otherwise is better than him. Personally, this will always be my favorite because he was the first one I got in my current Transformer collection. I lost the rest, but yeah, yeah, I love Bumblebee as a character. He'd probably be second to Ironhide, but yeah, I really like Bumblebee. Really wish they would actually let him keep his voice though. Really wish they kept his voice. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a good day. Say bye, Bumblebee. Say bye. Say it. But anyway, number 1 is... The backdrop fell down.